Hello?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I was just talking to Amber, and I was telling her that we're going to provide you with a couple of options in terms of how we can approach helping you. But regardless of how much help we give you, I want you guys to know some things that you need to do to protect your rights. I want to also go over the story with you and make sure that I have it right so that we're presenting it correctly to the police department, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let me just start at the beginning. You go to your girlfriend's house. You guys both jointly own a 2001 Intrepid. She wasn't feeling well. You decided to take the car to go get her a milkshake at a nearby Wendy's. On the way to the Wendy's, the police were following you. You did not know that the police had an undercover operation going on in the area, but you had nothing to do with that, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
You get to the Wendy's, you make the purchase, you're on your way back, and about 2.5 miles from the Wendy's, the police pulled you over. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. It was late, about 11:30, with very little traffic on the road. You asked the officer why you were stopped. The officer told you that you were being stopped for failure to yield, correct?
Yes.
All right. You were asked for your ID. You provided it. You had legitimate insurance. You had identification. You had everything you needed, and you didn't have any warrants, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you have had some altercations or interaction with law enforcement in the past, but on this night, you were behaving completely legally, and you didn't do anything wrong. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. So you told me you were a little bit nervous because you've been around cops before, so you tried to do everything to cooperate, correct?
Yes.
All right. At some point, one of the officers ordered you out of the car and actually pulled you out of the car, correct?
Yes, he didn't order me, he just pulled me.
He just pulled you, didn't even ask you.
Yes, he said, get out the car.
Okay.
While he was pulling, he opened my door, pulled my hand, and said, get out the car.
Okay. And shortly after you were out of the car, the officers began attacking you?
Yes.
Okay. And did they punch you? Did they spray you? What was the first thing that happened that was violent?
I was pushed and tased.
Okay, you were pushed and tased. And do you know which officer is the one that pushed you and tased you? If you were to see him again down the road?
I don't know which one I'll have to look at the police report to see which one that pushed me.
Mm-hmm.
It was the one that I was talking to, while the other one had went to go check on the ID.
Okay. Okay.
I believe it was Roger. Would it be Roger? I don't know which one. Right.
Okay.
She
Now,
said she believes it's Roger from the police report. I'd have to look at it again.
okay, do you have copies of the police report?
Yes, sir. I have a couple of copies.
Okay. So let me just continue. So one of the officers tasered you. Were you ever punched, struck, kicked, or choked during the incident?
Yes, sir. They've admitted to, as a whole, punching me over maybe 10 times, kicking and knee strikes and stuff over 20 times, and they admitted to tasing me on the police report between two officers about 13 times.
So they actually say on the police report that they used force against you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And how many times do you believe you were struck, punched, hit, or kicked?
I know it was enough to knock me unconscious. I can't even count. I know I was getting tore up.
Were you fighting back at all?
Not at all. I was trying to just curl up so I wouldn't try to feel it. I was just trying to breathe and stay awake. Cause I zoned out. Like I felt myself going.
Okay. And after they punched and did all these things to you and knocked you down, did they arrest you at some point?
Yeah, they took me to the hospital, and I was in custody at the hospital.
Okay, and what did they charge you with once you knew what the charges were? What did they tell you you were being charged with?
It was resisting arrest, tampering with evidence, and possessing of drug paraphernalia.
What was the so-called drug paraphernalia that they claimed that you had?
They said it was a pipe.
Okay.
They said it was a glass pipe.
All right. And they had no other charges, no other crime, nothing?
No, not at all.
Okay. And do you have the names of the officers on the police report?
Yes.
Okay, can you give them to me?
Yes, that would be the ones that were just involved in the incident.
Yes.
Okay, that's Officer Vogler, Villarreal,
Uh-huh.
uh, yes, Rincon,
Rincon?
yes, and Officer Redding,
Redding.
yes.
Okay. All right, sir. Well, let me just give you some advice. Number one, if the beating took place that you described, you have genuine civil rights violations here, and they need to be reported immediately to the Justice Department. We can help you do that, or we will help you do that. We will also contact the police department and file your complaint and make sure that you're safe. Now, do you have a court appearance?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
My next court appearance is on March the 9th.
Okay, and do you have an attorney, or are you using a public defender?
Right now I have a public defender.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to seek some kind of counsel, but, money is really money.
I understand. We'll try to help you find an attorney. We can't guarantee it, but we'll try. Here's what I want to do. I've got enough information to file your complaint. I need to find the complaint form online that your girlfriend submitted, and as soon as I do have that in front of me, I'm going to contact the police department. So